Jotform AI Chatbot for WordPress just got several improvements. I'm going to show you how to use all the features on the WordPress plugin right now. Welcome to Jotform. My name is George, and on this video, I'm going to show you how to use the features on the WordPress plugin, plus the additional features that are not available on the WordPress plugin from the Jotform Workspace. So let's get started. Now, first thing you need to do is install the WordPress plugin on your WordPress site. Now you can go ahead and download the plugin and upload it on your WordPress site. So that means that if you are located in plugins and you click on add new, you can go ahead and upload the plugin that you've downloaded. So you go ahead and upload plugin, choose file and install it. Or the other option is to search for Jotform AI Chatbot. And right now you're going to see the search going on here. And here we go. It's this plugin right here by Jotform. So go ahead, install, activate, and you'll have plugin available right away. Okay, so we're going to have a brand new menu here on the left that says Jotform AI Chatbot, and we're going to go into My AI Chatbot. Now, I've already gone through the setup process. If you want to view that video, it's available on the channel. On this case, I want to show you how to use the features in detail. Okay, so here we go. So first off, we have the AI persona. We can go ahead and select from the AI avatars that are available right here. So for example, if I want to use her, and her default name is Chandra, you can see right here, but I can go ahead and change it to whatever name I like. In this case, I'm going to keep Chandra as a default name, and there's several available agent avatars that we can select from. Now, if you want to create a custom avatar, that is possible in the Jotform Workspace, which I will show you a bit later on. So in this case, we're going to stick to the options here on the WordPress side. So we go ahead and select Chandra. I'm going to keep her name, and then we have the agent role. In this case, Chandra, because this is a chat agent that I created previously, is a course registration assistant. If you believe that you can give it a better agent role description, I do recommend that you do so. Why? Because it's going to give it better context and guidance of how the agent needs to behave. So what is my actual job title? And that's the way that I'm going to behave. So give it a great agent role here. Okay. Next, we have the default language. In this case, it's English, but if your language is different, if it's going to be a different default one, go ahead and select it here. Even though it can respond with different languages, you want to select the default one so it knows how it's going to talk when it starts off. Okay. Then we have the tone of voice. We have casual, professional, and friendly. In this case, depending on the type of agent that you want to build and her purpose in this case, go ahead and select the option available. So if it's going to be casual, the way it's going to talk will be more casual. If you want it to be more professional, don't get a little bit funny, don't do other things that you shouldn't do, be really strict, well, go ahead and select professional. And friendly, well, it's going to be really friendly. It's up to you what tone of voice you want to use for your agent. Next, we have the greeting message. Greeting message will pop up in the beginning to get it started. So let me go ahead and close this. Let me go ahead and turn this off. So there's no greeting message, nothing going on here. And if I turn it on, there is going to be a greeting message. You can see here, how can I assist you? So that's this greeting message right here. If you think that's annoying and you just want to keep the chat bubble there, go ahead and turn this off. And it's just going to keep the bubble there for someone to click on it in order for it to open. So no greeting message. Then we have the chattiness. You got minimal, short, long, and chatty. Now, if you want to keep it short and sweet, just provide the answer, go ahead and select minimal. The way it's going to respond is going to be like super short, but if you want it to be longer or just keep that sweet spot, select in the middle. So you got short, long, and chatty. So let's go ahead and test out the minimal one. Let's go ahead and preview this. Here we go. And we should be getting the bubble. Here we go. Let's go ahead and talk to Chandra. And I'm going to say hello. Here we go. How can I help you today? I need a job, right? Well, it's actually a course registration, but you can see it's short. It's just responding short responses here. In this case, okay, I need to register. Okay, here we go. And you go ahead and continue. So let's go ahead and remove this. Let's go make it chatty. So we're going to go to the other end, like the extreme chatty. So let's go ahead and open up incognito mode because we don't want to continue the conversation that we are testing right now. Okay, so let's go ahead and kick off Chandra here. Let's go. And we're going to say hello again, just to kind of see the difference between chatty and short. Here we go. It's been way, there's a bigger conversation here. I'm going to say I need more info. I need more info. Let's see what information it provides. Here we go. And again, that's becoming really chatty. It has a lot of information. You can see where that chattiness kicks in. It could be a whole lot depending on your situation. If you need to provide a lot of information, maybe you are providing support, then this helps it provide better support, because you might have to write something that's really long, or it has to provide something that's really long, and chatty would be the best option. But if not, minimal or the sweet spot, short and long. Then we have the chat guidelines. How the chat guidelines are going to affect Chandra? Well, the guidelines are going to keep her in line so she doesn't go off track. That means chat guidelines. Your main goal is to help users with course registration efficiently. So in this case, it's really clear what the job title and her guideline is going to be. Then we have more guidelines, so you don't have to stick with one. And I do recommend that you add more. And maybe in the future, once you start testing your chatbot, you'll find situations that could be more efficient by giving it more or more efficient guidelines. So go ahead and add more really easily right here, and go ahead and remove it if not. So for example, you can keep a guideline here to not go off track and don't speak about support. Or if the client is mad, then behave kind of this way. So you give it the chat guideline, and that is for the AI persona. Then we have the agent style. Agent style will let you change the color scheme of your chat agent. And you can see that there's already pre-built themes available here that we can go ahead and select in case we like one of these. If we don't like it, we can go ahead and change every single color right here. So we got the agent background, and you can see that I can go, for example, dark black just for testing purposes. And we have that gradient look now from black to blue. So you can see here, we got the start and end color. So it's a gradient, but we can keep the same color in case we want to keep it one tone. Then we have the chat background. Maybe we want to do a little bit of gray, maybe not just total white. Go ahead and update it, and it's now gray. I really don't like this, but it's up to you if you want to change it. So it's super easy. Then you got your font family. You got 3 options available as of this video. You got chat theme color. You got a button style. Maybe you don't like greenish. Maybe you want to go with blue too. So go ahead and add the bluish here. You can go ahead and grab the hex color in case you want it to be the same blue as this one, and it'll update really fast to preview how it's going to look. And the icon color can be changed too. So this is really helpful, especially when you got a brand that you need to keep with the brand colors. This is really a really great option. Okay. Then we have the visibility options. So there's several options available here on how you want it to perform. So we have layout, there's minimal, and there's extended. Extended is, for example, it has the options available here to get started. So there's a little bit more options available than just the minimal. I recommend that you test both of these and decide which one is the best fit for your website. Then we have the position. So you got left and right. That means that maybe you already have an element on one side, so you want to keep the agent on a different side. So just go ahead and select the position to left or right. Then we have open by default. So in this case, it's set to not open automatically. And that means that a user has to go ahead and click on it in order for it to get activated, to open up. But you can go ahead and choose other options like always open. And that means that from the beginning, it's going to be open. So as soon as the website loads, it's going to open up. Or we can choose after 5 seconds or after 10 seconds. And that means that if the page loads, you got the bubble there, but after, in this case, 10 seconds pass, it's going to open up. And I really like that option because users will be around your site. And if they stick longer than 10 seconds, then it's probably interesting for them to chat with someone if the bubble pops up. But it could get annoying if you do it from always open or maybe 5 seconds. It's up to you if you want to use this or just keep it closed. Okay. Then we have the visibility option, which is desktop, mobile, or all devices. All devices means it's going to load on mobile and desktop, or you can go ahead and just choose mobile. And that means that this will not show on a desktop, only mobile phones. And the other way around is to use a desktop. That means that it won't pop up on mobile phones. Maybe you already have too many elements. Maybe it's already too many things in the way. You just want it to show on desktop, and that is possible via this option, or just do all devices. Then we have the advanced visibility option. So this is a really crucial part of the chatbot in case you don't want it to pop up on the whole website. And I'm going to show you how to use this. So for example, let's go ahead and get started with the hide on. This was one of my favorites because I get to hide it on certain pages. So for example, I have options to use URL or page. Let's get started with the URL. Now you can go ahead and use is, and that means that if it's an exact URL, it's gonna hide it on that specific page. Or if you use show on, it's gonna pop up only on that specific page that is that specific URL. But in this case, I like to use hide on, and I like to use starts with. Why starts with? Because maybe you wanna hide this on the blog post, okay? Let me give you an example. Here is a blog post that I have available. So here is the link, and you can see here that it starts with 2025. And I know that all blog posts are going to start with 2025. So what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to use this option to hide the AI agent on those pages. So I'm going to add it. Okay, let's go back into this blog post. You can see that I have this option here. Now I'm going to go ahead and refresh it, and it won't pop up anymore. And that means that every single blog post that starts with 2025, it's not going to appear. Now that could be 2025, or it could start with blog, or it could start with products, and depending where you want to hide it. But let's go ahead and turn it off now. Let's go ahead and remove it. Let's go ahead and refresh this page. Here we go. And we should see Chandra pop up now. Here we go. Here's Chandra. Now that means, like I mentioned before, every single page that starts off with that URL. Now I can also do this for the product pages. So if I do products, I can go ahead and use this, and that means it won't show on the products at all. Now it's just going to depend how you want to use this, and that's a great option here. Now let's go ahead and use the other option, which is page. Now page makes it easier because you can select specific pages where you don't want it to pop up. So maybe you don't want it to pop up on my account. Let's go ahead and add it now, and that means that this won't load on the my account page. Let's go ahead and add another one. Maybe you don't want it to pop up in search availability. All right, so let's go ahead and add it, and it won't pop up there. Or maybe you want to hide on some pages but show on other pages. Well, just go ahead and add on the other pages. So maybe I do want it to show on the shop pages. So I can view my show and my hide options here. So I can view where my agent is going to show and where it's going to hide with this option. Now in this case, I am going to remove them, but it's a great option here to hide it on certain pages or show them on certain pages. So a lot of available options here. Then we have the knowledge base. On the knowledge base, once you use this on WordPress, it's going to start reading the pages in WordPress. So if you have a WooCommerce site where you have products, or you have a lot of blog posts, or you have your about, your privacy policy, etc., all that information is going to be pulled into the knowledge base in order for Chandra to be able to respond to your customer, clients, fans, etc. But if I need to add a brand new knowledge base, I can do so by clicking on add a knowledge base, and we have several options available. One is adding knowledge via text, so I can go ahead and just type in here or paste in here information that I know that is important for Chandra to have so she can respond to it. So if I need to add, for example, the schedules for a Christmas, New Year, etc., Halloween, or what is going to happen on Halloween, for example, I'll add the details here, and she will have it ready to respond in case someone needs that information to be received. So it's a great option here. Then you have the upload documents. Just go ahead and click on upload and upload a document from your computer. It can be a PDF, a text, or other type of documents, and it will read those documents and have that information ready in order to respond. The other option would be to crawl a URL. That means that if you have a URL that is external to your WordPress site, you can pull information from that other page. So if you have products from other pages, or if you have information that you find important from other pages, maybe you're an affiliate or you're an associate to another company, you can grab those details from those pages and put it inside of here in order for it to crawl and have that information ready to respond. And the last one is questions and answers. This is super important, and you might not find the need in the beginning, but you will have a need later on. Once people start using your chatbot, you'll find out that there's questions that, in this case, Chandra doesn't respond to because she doesn't have the knowledge. So what's going to happen? Well, you can type in the question here and you can add the response here. Or if you have previous knowledge that you know that customers are going to ask questions like these, go ahead and add the question and the answer here in order for Chandra to have it ready to respond. So several available options for your agent inside of the WordPress site. Plus, it doesn't stop there. There's a conversation section here on the WordPress plugin to view the conversations inside of here, so you can go ahead and have a record of the conversations. So this is a conversation that we just had in incognito mode. That's why it's anonymous, and I can view the conversation straight from here. And if I want to have more options, I can go ahead and click on see conversation on Jotform, and it's going to take me directly to that conversation that we just had. And I can go ahead and do other things here, like copy individual messages. I can view the conversation. I can go ahead and download the transcript, print, archive, move to trash. I can favorite this and use filters straight from here. So let's go back into WordPress, okay? So those are the available options for the conversation. Then we have the settings. And in settings, if you want to disconnect your AI agent, you can do so in the general option, log out. Or if you want to connect your WooCommerce products, that is possible here on the WordPress plugin. Now, if you want to do this, that is possible by getting these details. Let me show you how to do this, okay? So let's go into WooCommerce settings. Here we go. And we're going to go into advanced. In advanced, we're going to go into REST API. And we are going to create a brand new key. So let's go ahead and add a key. Let's give our key a name. So we're going to say Jotform. And we're going to give it read and write access. Let's go ahead and generate the API key. And here we go. We got our consumer key and consumer secret. Be aware not to share these details. Only share them with your developer or people who need access to this, because they will have access to the store. So don't share this. And if someone shared it, go ahead and delete the key and create a brand new one. Okay. Now, once this gets connected like it did right now, we have options to find products, recommend products, add products to cart, show order status straight from the AI agent. So it's going to have all that information available for the AI agent to be used in the chat. But if you don't want it to, for example, if you don't want it to add products to cart, go ahead and turn this off. If you don't want it to find products, go ahead and turn it off. So it's up to you what you want to allow or disallow. And in the future, manage refunds is going to come soon. So straight from the AI agent chat, you'll be able to manage the refunds, which is pretty cool, right? And that is for the WordPress plugin. Now, in this case, there's several options available, but there's also these options plus more options on the workspace. How is that going to work? Well, jump into your Jotform Workspace and find the agent that you are using. In this case, I'm going to refresh this because we have Chandra available. So I'll be able to edit the agent straight from here, and I'll be able to make different modifications in the Jotform Workspace. What does that mean? Well, I can go ahead and change settings for the chatbot. So I'll click on the gear icon, and you can see here, there's the navigation. Maybe I don't want to provide access to voice. I can go ahead and turn this off, and that will also turn it off on your WordPress site. So changes that are done on the workspace will also reflect on the WordPress side. So in this case, I'm going to keep the voice on. Now we can also change the greeting here because you got more options available. So you got the AI generated greeting message. You got the show buttons, which can be changed here, and you can add more buttons, which are the buttons right here when it gets started. So you can add more from the workspace. And in training, you have more options available too. So you got the options that you already saw, which is the AI persona, knowledge base that you already saw too. But then we have actions. So actions is like conditional logic, but for the AI agent. Right now, you can set a brand new action, and I'm going to show you one just so you understand how it works. So for example, you have the option to make this work on every single option available here. So every single channel, or just on specific channels. In this case, I'm going to keep it for all channels. Then we can set how is this going to perform. So when this happens, do that. So for example, if a user sentiment is angry, and I'll just keep it simple, then we can do something else. We can, for example, send an email. Here we go. And I can send it. You know what? The user sentiment is angry. Add the email content here. You can generate the content with AI, and we can set the recipients here. So if you want to alert someone when someone is angry, that's how actions can work. But there's several options for when and do that are going to be super useful for your AI agent. So take some time and set this up. There's a dedicated video for this so you understand how each one of these actions work, okay? Then we have tools available if you want to connect your notes, your display PDFs, and so many other tools available here. Forms that you want to connect to this agent and teach your agent. So if you want to talk to it and teach it while you talk to it, this is a great option. And in publish, you got more options too. So you got your layout, your positions, your show more settings. You got several options available here. You got your platforms if you want to embed this via the code instead of the plugin, that is possible too. So for example, if we go to the standalone option and I select the chatbot, I can go ahead and copy this code and embed it on the WordPress site in case I don't want to use the WordPress plugin. So there's several options to use the AI agent on your WordPress plugin. So what are you waiting for? Get started right now. You can go ahead and download it and install it right away on your WordPress site and start using the power of AI agents from Jotform. So I hope you like this video. Please let me know here in the comments what you think about the features of the WordPress plugin for the Jotform AI agents and what you would like to see in the future. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that little bell notification to get notified when new videos come out. And that is a wrap.